सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवाय सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ओम सर्वमंगलमंगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम जयंती काली मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवरात्रि स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। ओम श्मा संगनी बाबाय नमो नमः। ओम श्मा मुनिष्पे बाबाय नमः। ओम श्मा काल भैरव बाबाय नमो नमः। ओम ह्रीं ओम भटकाय पुदुद्वारणाय कुरु कुरु भटकाय ओम ह्रीं ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर शुरा भरनो रघुवर विमल यशा जो धायक फलचा। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देव मही अलहु कलेश विकार। सिया प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन 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 गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति सिद्धि सदन गजवरन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजवरन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सभरायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सभरायक गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन मंगल राता मोर कपिया मुझ मंगल राता विद्या रानी बुद्धि विराता विद्या दानी बुद्धि विराता गाई रे गणपति गाई रे गणपति मोदक पिया मुझ मंगल राता विद्या रानी बुद्धि विराता विद्या रानी बुद्धि विराता गाई रे गणपति गाई रे गणपति मांग तुलसीदास कर जोगे मांग तुलसीदास कर जोगे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोहे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोहे गाई रे गणपति गाई रे शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन 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 गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन गाई रे गणपति जगवंदन Testing 1 2 1 2 3 दुर्गे माँ दुर्गे दुर्गे जय जय माँ दुर्गे माँ दुर्गे दुर्गे जय जय माँ दुर्गे माँ दुर्गे दुर्गे जय जय माँ
दुर्गे 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 जय जय माँ
दुर्गे माँ दुर्गे दुर्गे जय जय माँ
प्रेम से बोले श्री आदि शक्ति देवी दुर्गा माता की Jai. So devotees and friends, Sitaram to one and all, and welcome to this evening, the sixth session of our Navraatri, 6th or the 5th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 5th night. So devotees and friends, at this time, may you all put the hands together, close the physical eyes, as we concentrate and meditate upon our Divine Master. Gajananam bhutaganaadisevitam Kapeta Jambo Palisar Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashikarkam Namami Vigneshwar Parapankajam Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye, 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 namo namah. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaram, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Nagendraharam Trilochanayam Bhashmangragaya Maheshwarayam Nityaya Shudaya Digam Barayam Tasmai Nakarayam Namah Shivan Om Anjani Garbhasan Mukhom Vayu Putro Mahabam Kumaro Brahmachari Cham Hanumanami Prasidhame Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasyam Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonam Prachodayam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karvabhe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishabhe Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Prem Sri Sri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki Jai. Devotees and friends, Sitaram again to one and all, and welcome to this evening, the 5th evening. No, today's Monday. And today's Monday. So this is our 6th evening. I well thinking today is Sunday. So devotees and friends, at this wonderful time of the Navraatri, on this day of the 11th of October 2021, we commence another evening of devotion. And so devotees and friends, this evening we are dedicating our message and special prayer to a wonderful person who have been supporting Dharam Ki Awaaz. He have been listening to us, he have been following us on Pandit Vishnu Live, on Facebook, he have been following us on YouTube, and he's following us on www.dharamkiawaz. So many of you. But this wonderful person, today his wife and himself, and that his name is Krishnanath Raul Ramdani, and that's the brother of Barry and Merle, who is here this evening. And his wife Leelavati, and so devotees and friends, they're celebrating 29 years of wedding bliss today. And today I promised him that I will be doing a few sessions blessing him and his Dulahin for this wonderful achievement of 29 years in marriage bliss. Surol and Leela of Niagara Falls in Canada. From here, your family in Trinidad, your brothers, your sisters, all your in-laws and so on from Trinidad, and from Dharam Ki Awaaj, Pandit Vishnu and members of Dharam Ki Awaaj, we send today a wonderful blessing to you and your Dulahin on this auspicious occasion of your 29th wedding anniversary. We commence our katha for this evening. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, हे मुनि सक्षतान भगवान विष्णु पास वैकुंठ में रहने वाली सरस्वती काल काल के करण गंगा जी धूर दिए गए श्राप से भरता वर्ष में आपनी एक भल से नदी रूप में प्राप्तिष्ट है। जय जय देवी जय जय मान, जय जय देवी जय जय मान, जय जगदम्ब भवानी मान। नारद जी बोले ये भगवते सरस्वती काल के कारण गंगा जी की श्राप से भारतवर्ष में आपने कल से पुण्याद दयिनी नदी के रूप में कैसे प्रकटन हो गई। जय जय देवी जय जय मां, जय जय देवी जय जय मां, जय जगदम्ब भवानी मां। अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी, अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी।
जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी।
Devotees and friends, as I promised you last evening, we're going to talk about Tulsi Devi this evening and how wonderful this Tulsi Ma is. Devotees and friends, it tells to us, and you'll find me quoting verses from the Devi Puran this evening because I don't want anybody to misunderstand and to say Pandit Vishnu says so. All that I am saying are the exact words of the Devi Puran this evening. So devotees and friends, it tells to us, Narayan Bhagwan is talking to Narad and he says, hey Narad. It says, Saraswati used to always be living in Vaikunt. One day, a quarrel aroused with Ganga and Saraswati. And by that quarrel, Saraswati cursed Ganga. Devotees and friends, it tells to us Saraswati was cursed, Ganga was cursed, but they all came down on the earth after to fulfill and to burn out that karma. Once you perform wrong, my dear friends, once you do the wrong action, you need to come down on earth to burn it out. So the mere fact that we are here as human beings is telling us that we have karmas to burn. We have karmas to burn. That is why we are here. But how many of us are making that effort to burn these karmas? Devotees and friends, anger, greed, lust, ego, what we call the ahamkar. These, my dear friends, does not assist us in burning away the karma that has already been accumulated for giving us this body. And I want you to understand this quite clearly. We are here in this human body because we have karmas to burn. Devotees and friends, the divine Lord Narayan, Vishnu Bhagwan, is going to show us today how dangerous is quarreling. How dangerous is that hate? How dangerous is that anger? Devotees and friends. So it continued to tell to us. I do not want to go into the details of the greatness of Saraswati and Ganga and all of them on the earth, because I want to direct my discussion to Tulsi this evening. So Narad Ji told to us, he says, Hey Narayan Bhagwan, how did Devi Saraswati quarrel with Devi Ganga? And how did she, by her curse, turned out in Bharat Desh, India, into the holy river in giving virtues? I am becoming more and more eager and impatient to hear about this critical incident. I do not find, that comfort. I do not find that tone and that appreciation of your nectar-like words. I cannot understand that. How these two quarrel? And the same question will be asking in the minds of each and every one of you. So devotees and friends, just the same way as one of the evening, our Katha showed to us where the Maya, the illusion, does not escape anyone, because it was even Brahma and Lord Vishnu got caught up with the Maya. So this is what Narad could not understand, how these two Devis could have reached to this point that they had a quarrel with one another. My dear friends, I ask the question this evening. Have you at any given time quarreled with anybody? Munesh, at any given time, did you ever quarrel with anybody? We all did. Sometime or the other, we did quarrel with somebody. Denise, you ever quarrel, child? Right, so if Denise could quarrel, then it means all of us quarrel a little bit. But my dear friends, what happened after the quarrel? After the quarrel, you sit down and you start to reflect. That's when you start to feel sorry now about what happened, because you believe that it should not happen. So, my dear friends, after each quarrel, search yourself, and you will see that you will be questioning yourself, why did I have to quarrel? It will come. Why did not I take a different approach? You question yourself about the quarrel. So this is what Narad could not understand here, my dear friends. How it is. These two Devis who we would not expect to have a quarrel is quarreling. So we want to know. So he's saying, why did Ganga curse Saraswati? Worshipped everywhere still is Ganga. Ganga is full of Satogun. How come she got herself in this? She always bestowed good and virtue to all. How did she find? So, devotees and friends, what the Divine Lord is telling to us here, what Narad is inquiring about, is telling to each and every one of us, hey, listen, anger is something that is so, destructive. But yet still, it is so easy to embed the mind of one that you can't escape it sometimes. Devotees and friends. But the Katha is placed here this evening so that you and I, my dear friends, would be able to understand how this happened and make sure we avoid it. So he says, both of them fiery, and it is pleasant to hear the cause of the quarrel between these two, because I really can't understand it. These are very rarely found in the Puranas. So you sought to describe that to me. Prem se bole Sri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki Jai. Jai Jai Ganap, Jai Jai Devi, Jai Jai, Jai Jagadamba Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Devi, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jagadamba Bhavani Ma, Ambe Bhavani Mata, Ambe Bhavani.
Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani, Jai 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 Jagadamba Bhavani.
Jai Jai Devi, Jai Jai Mam, Jai Jagadamba Bhavani Mam. Sri Narayan bole, हे नारद जी, मैं यहाँ प्रचीना कथा कहा रहा हूँ, जिसके सुनाने मथुरा से मनुष्या सभी। जय जय देवी, जय जय मां, जय जगदम्ब भवानी मां। पापों से मुक्ति हो जाता है, आपसे सुनिए। लक्ष्मी, सरस्वती और गंगा ये तीनों ही विष्णु की भयान रही है। ये भरे प्रेम के सत सर्वाधा भगवान विष्णु समीपाम विराजमान रहती है। जय जय देवी, जय जय मां, जय जगदम्ब भवानी मां। एक बार गंगा कमतूर होकर मुस्कुराती हुई कथा श्रव पूर्वक भगवान विष्णु का मुख निहार रही थी। जय जय देवी जय जय मां, जय जगदम्ब भवानी मां। अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी,
भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी। जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी।
प्रेम से बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Narayan Bhagwan started to speak to Narad and he says, Suniye, O Narad, I will now describe that incident, the hearing of which removes all the sins. You see, why he says that hearing this katha will remove your sins. He's telling us that listening to this katha, you and I should not fall victim now as they have fallen victim. So this will help you. If you don't fall for that and you stop the quarreling, then you will evade the sin of quarreling. So devotees and friends, he tells to us. He says, Lakshmi, Saraswati and Ganga. At one stage, they used to be the wives of Lord Vishnu, Lord Hari. And all equally loved remain always close to Sri Hari. He tells to us in this katha also, my dear friends, if an iota, and this is the reason why this Kali age have recommended one wife, because it says if perchance you want to have two wives, Manish, if perchance you want to have two wives or three wives or 7 wives, no problem. Franklin, what is smiling so? But he says that each one must be evenly treated at the same time. Is that possible? No. It's not possible among us as human beings. And so, devotees and friends, this created a little conflict. Saraswati, who is the one with the vocal, you know, we have some people who is very quiet and some people who is more vocal. Some people believe that words will run out, so they want to just continue with a speed. And they give nobody a chance to speak. You know that? We have that kind of people. So Saraswati is the vocal one. And for some reason, Lord Narayan, Vishnu Bhagwan is saying that one day Saraswati believed that Ganga cast a sidelong glance and it was too frequent towards Narayan Bhagwan, towards me, and was eagerly looking at me with a smile on her lips. Seeing this, the Lord Narayan, I started also to look at Ganga. And I smiled also with her. You know, if somebody smiled with you, would you not smile back with them? Yeah. So the Lord said he smiled with Ganga, but the rest were not smiling, so he didn't smile with them. And Saraswati became very, very angry. So we're all in Canada listening about. You see, I didn't really choose this katha this evening. This katha just came this evening, and today Raul and his Dulahin is celebrating 29th wedding anniversary. So devotees and friends, Vishnu Bhagwan says Saraswati became very angry. And Saraswati and Ganga started. So it says Lakshmi, who was always of the Satogun, began to console in various ways the angry Saraswati. You know, the one who is loving and peaceful. If somebody starts to make a little quarrel, always get in the middle and try to put peace. Not so? Or in today's world, we don't have that. Because today, if fire start a fly, the next person on the side, instead of bringing peace, they just add pitch oil or kerosene to it, so it's more blaze. So devotees and friends, it tells to us, however, Padma, which is another name for Lakshmi, she's of Satogun. She went and she started to console Saraswati. But she could not appease her by any means. Rather, her face became more red in anger and she started to tremble. Her lips quivered and she began to speak to her husband. She says, and these are the words of Saraswati, the husband that is good, the husband that is religious, the husband who is good and religious as well as qualified. So you see Saraswati saying a husband had to have quality too, eh? Can't be just so. So husbands, check and see if you have quality. So the husband who is good, religious, and have quality looks on all his wives equally. But if it is just the opposite with him, he becomes a cheat. Tell me, anybody, and most of the time, the wife in the house does get the lion's shares of the blow. And don't believe this is something that I'm talking here. This is something happening in our communities, where there is a lot of cheat. A lot of people cheat. And it's not just happening men alone now. It's men and women, vice versa. But the one in the house always get, the worst out of it. Because all the sweet smiles and everything else go outside and not inside. So that means, my dear friends, if you do not want to live a life of a cheat, then stop it immediately and keep looking at your wives equally. So it means you must only have one wife. Because you're not in that state, you're not in that framework. If Lord Vishnu, and this is what he put this kata here for, to show us that he as the Supreme Lord could not maneuver that. And that always caused quarrel. I want you go, my dear friends, and look at the statistics of divorce. And you will see 90 or more % of divorces are as a result of an unfaithful relationship. And this is what the Lord is telling us. Avoid that, because that will cause a lot of problems and upset into your family. Upset like this, what it could happen. So my dear friends, Saraswati could not be she could not be controlled. And because she could not be controlled, my dear friends, what happened? She then, my dear friends, she's telling now to Lakshmi, you say you are partial to Ganga. And that is how I see it, O Lakshmi. I am the only one here that is deprived of the love of you, O Narayan Bhagwan. It is therefore that Ganga and Lakshmi are in love with each other, for you love Lakshmi and you give Ganga that smile. So why shall not Padma bear some burden too? And so, devotees and friends, she says, what use is there in holding my life? Her life is useless, who is deprived of her husband's love. Those that declare you of Sattva Guna, of the good and truthful path, sought not to be ever called Pandits. They are quite illiterate. They have not the least knowledge of the Vedas. They are quite impotent to understand the nature of your mind, O Narad. Hearing Saraswati's word and knowing that she had become very angry, Narayan thought for a moment and he went away and went to the outside. When Narayan had gone, Saraswati now become fearless. So you know when the husband had the one with the mouth become fearless. So it says when Narayan Bhagwan left, she became fearless. And she began to abuse Ganga downright, out of anger and in abusive language. Hard to hear. She said, to Ganga, she says that your pride do you find for your husband? Do you like to show that your husband loves you much? I will destroy your pride today. And then that is a normal line they just tell you today. I will destroy your ego today. I will show you, I'll do for you. And so, devotees and friends, so saying, Saraswati grasped Ganga by the hair and pulled her there. And so, devotees and friends, violently she pulled that hair, So when you see in these little battle on Facebook and thing, it happened here. But it's telling you why it happened. So devotees and friends, brothers and sisters, all you be very careful. So devotees and friends, when she held Ganga by her hair, Padma again, Lakshmi Mata, intervened to stop her. And Saraswati became more violent. And she cursed her. Not the curse that Vedas have these days. Says here that, O Lakshmi, you saving Ganga, no doubt you will be turned into a tree and into a river. Inasmuch as you seeing this undue behavior of Ganga, you did not step forward to speak anything in the assembly as if you were a tree or a river. So, O Padma, you will become a river and a tree. And Saraswati did this out of anger. Devotees and friends, even when she heard of the above curse, she became sorry and holding the hands of Saraswati, remained silent. Then Ganga became angry, and so the curse continued to exchange. And Ganga had to become a river because she was cursed by Saraswati to become a river. And Saraswati was cursed by Ganga to become a river. And so they become here. But my dear friends, because of their divinity, they came down on earth here to burn that karma. Ganga came through the call of Bhagirathi. And Saraswati, my dear friends, came down to Bhulok to live and to order things. But the Lord told to Lakshmi, says, O Lakshmi, let you be born in parts, without being born in any womb. So she tell Lakshmi, when you come on earth, you would not be born of the womb. You will come as the daughter of King Dharmadwaja. You will have to take the form of a tree deer out of this evil turn of fate. Dear Shankachud, he is an asura, and he is born part of me. But he has become an asura, and so he will marry you. And from there, all will take place. You will be, when you become the tree, you will be named Tulsi, and you will be the purifier of the three worlds. Prem se bole Sri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki. So my dear friends, all of them paid their price for being in that quarrel. So tell me, who can make a quarrel today and get themselves saved? Two people just quarrel. Two people will have the disagreement. And both parties, my dear friends, would have contributed to it. But you know, it's only one party get the blame. One party get the blame and one party feel that there's an angel. So one becomes the demon and one becomes the angel. But my dear friends, I tell to you from this katha this evening, all those who are involved in quarrel, whether you're right or you're wrong, a quarrel has a severe punishment. Let us listen again now. And I bring the katha now from chapter 9, verse 17, book 9, chapter 17 of the Devi Puran. Jai Jai Devi, Jai Jai, Jai Jagadambha Bhavani Mam, Jai Jai Devi, Jai Jai Mam, Jai Jagadambha Bhavani Mam, Ambe Bhavani Mata, Ambe Bhavani. Book 9, chapter 17. Sri Narayana bole, he Narad ji, Raja Dharam Dhwaja ki patni, Madhave name namaste, Prasidhute vaham Raja ke saath, Ghanna mandhan param ek samay upavan mein vihara karati thi. Jai Jai Devi, Jai Jai Mam, Jai Jagadambha Bhavani Mam, Rati Kridha ke विज्ञान वेदों कभी भी भोग से भिरता नहीं होता है. जय जय देवी, जय जय मां, जय जगदम्बा भवानी मां. इस प्रकार उनके दिव्य वर्ष व्याप्ति हो गए, किंतु उन्हें दिन रता का भी ज्ञान नहीं रहा. जय जय देवी मां, जय जगदम्बा भवानी मां. तदनंतर राजा के हृदय कछु ज्ञान का उदयम होने पर वे भोग से भीरता हो गए जय देवी मां। किंतु वहाँ काम शक्ति सुंदरे पूर्ण रूप से भृता नहीं हुई। जय जय देवी जय जय मां, जय जगदम्ब भवानी मां। अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी, अम्बे भवानी माता अम्बे भवानी।
जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी, जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी।
So devotees and friends, last day we talked about the two brothers, the two brothers who have been reborn as Dharmadhwaja and Kushadhwaja. So the last evening we talked about Kushadhwaja and his child, whose name was Vedvati, who came and walked with Prabhu Sri Ram into the forest. This evening we are talking about now the daughter of Dharmadhwaja. Now I went to that first part of the Katha, devotees and friends. That first chapter of the Devi Purana that I read this evening, that would have taken us 3 days if I really go to really show to you how dangerous is quarrel and how each one of them, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, was hurt by the quarrel. They were happy when they were quarreling, except Lakshmi. But after, all of them was hurt, and all of them had a price to pay. So now, my dear friends, I bring you from where Lakshmi is going to be the Tulsi. But it is a transition. It didn't happen just like that. In one of those transitions, as she was moving after she was born here, let us listen. So she was now speaking. And she's saying, Narayan Bhagwan is telling, and he's saying, O Narad, the wife of Dharmadhwaja was Madhavi. And it says they went up into the Gandhamadhan mountain and they decided to have a child. And so, my dear friends, they had that pleasure time of having a child. But devotees and friends, it says after a time, Madhavi did not conceive. And so, my dear friends, the Devatas knew that Mayavi had to be conceived with this part manifestation of Lakshmi. And so, my dear friends, they created the situation where Mayavi was conceived. So it was not Dharmadhwaja. It was the Devas that instilled that child-giving seed to Mayavi. And my dear friends, if anyone wants to challenge that, let them go, my dear friends, and find out how the Lord Jesus was conceived. Mary was conceived with a child, and Joseph knew nothing about it. And when Joseph was about to hide her, the Akashvani, my dear friends, the voice from the heavenly realm told to him, he says, Joseph, he says, fear not, this is a child of God and this child will be worshipped in the three worlds. So my dear friends, let no one tell to you that this is a Nancy story. If this is a Nancy story, then that is a Nancy story. So my dear friends, I want to show to you the power of our scriptures. The Lord promised Lakshmi that she will not be born from the womb. So meaning just, that interaction between male and female. No, it would not happen. So devotees and friends, to be contemporary, she remained there. And so devotees and friends, the Katha continue to tell to us. It says that in the full moon night, in the month of Kartik, and the month of Kartik is going to start pretty soon. The full moon night, my dear friends, is the night after we do, the Kartik Styan Puja. After we finish that puja, that night was the night that Lakshmi manifested on earth. It says she manifested on earth, and the moment she manifested on earth, my dear friends, it says her glow was bright. She was lying in a room. And so devotees and friends, it says here that when she was born, it was so beautiful. She was so beautiful that it says that words could not compare her. Devotees and friends, because they could not compare her beauty, men and women cannot compare her beauty. Devotees and friends, the holy wise men named her Tulsi. So this is not Tulsi the plant. This is Tulsi the woman. This is Tulsi, the part manifestation of Lakshmi. And then she came here. Devotees and friends, what's the time now, please, somebody? 7:58? 52. Let me see how much of it I could do for it. Devotees and friends, I would not read the verses. Chapter 9. Book 9, chapter 17, verses 21 to 27. And the reason why I quote in these verses, I am not saying something which I hear somebody say. I'm telling you what I studied, and I studied this long time, because in my young days I did quite a number of Devi Yajnas all over this country. Prem se bole Shri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki Jai. Tulsi Mata said, Father, and she's talking to Dharmadvaja, I now say to you, so that your mind will be able to assimilate. And I want you to hear properly what I'm saying. What is the use of hiding away my views out of fear or shame of one who knows everything reigning in one's heart? She said, Father, what I'm going to tell to you here now, it might sound a bit shameful, but what is the use? That if I have been in an action, what is the use, Father? I'm hiding it from you. Tell me, I'm telling you one time. So don't believe, So devotees and friends, how many of us do the wrong thing, but we shame to talk the truth? Or we are afraid to talk the truth? So she is now going to tell her father. She said, I am Tulsi. I am Tulsi. But I am not only Tulsi from today. I was Tulsi in a previous birth. And as Tulsi, I was one of the Gopi girls. I used to dwell, before coming here to you, O Father, I used to dwell in Gokula. I was a dear servant to Radhika or Radha, the beloved of Lord Krishna. I was also born of the same part of divine Shakti Devi Mahalakshmi, but I was a female attendant to Radhika, who is also a part manifestation of Lakshmi. And it tells to us, it says that once we had the Rasa Mandalam, and she says, I had a very enjoyable time with Govinda, Lord Krishna. Govinda is another name for Lord Krishna. But I did not feel satisfied with the amount of time that I had with Govinda. So I lie down in a very lustful way. And Radhika come upon me. And when Radhika came upon me, she became very angry. Prem se bole Sri Adi Shakti Devi Durga Mata ki Jai. So she say, I was lying like an unconscious because I believed that I did not have enough of my Lord. Radha or Radhika, the governess in chief of the Rasa circle, came there and she saw me. She rebuked me. She rebuked Govinda. She rebuked her husband. Out of anger, she cursed me. Go at once and be born as a human being on earth. And this is how I came on earth. So, devotees and friends, she went on. If you go and practice tapas, this is Govinda now, when she was cursed, Lord Krishna spoke to her now and told to her, remember she was a gopi girl, and he says, if you go and practice tapas to Brahma in Bharat Desh, Brahma will be pleased and he will grant you your boon. When then you will get Narayan, that absolute Vishnu Bhagwan with 4 arms, he will be your husband. O Father, thus speaking, Sri Krishna disappeared out of sight, and out of fear for Radha, I quit my body and I now born in this world to you. Now grant me this boon that I get the peaceful, lovely, beautiful Narayan for my husband. And so, devotees and friends, as she born there, she prayed to Brahma. And Brahma, my dear friends, now her father is telling to her, Brahma came to her and said, O child Tulsi, it says there is a gopi boy who is a part manifestation of Lord Krishna, who Radhika or Radha had also a quarrel with. Because when she rebuked Govinda, Lord Krishna, he stand up for Lord Krishna, and she rebuked him and told to him that he will become a demon and his name will be Shankachud. No one will be equal to him in strength. But it is only when Lord Shiva should kill you, it is only then you will be able to reclaim your position back here in the heavenly realm. And so you, Tulsi, will marry him, and after that, so too, you will be able to get the Bhagwan with the 4 arms as your Lord. So, devotees and friends, thus saying, under the curse of Narayan, you will be transformed into the world. So she's telling her what will happen when Shankachud, and I can't go into the katha of Shankachud, how he was destroyed and so on. But he says, there and then, after your husband has died, he says, thus under the curse of Narayan, you will be transformed into the world purifying tree. which is known as the Tulsi tree. You will be foremost amongst the flowers and will be dearer to Narayan than his life. And this, my dear friends, between verse 28 and 37 of book 9 of the Devi Puran, it says here, no one worship will be complete without thee as a leaf. No one worship will be complete without thee as a leaf. You will remain as a tree in Bindraban, and Lord Krishna will come there and he will appreciate you, and every offering that is made to Lord Krishna, again too, you will be the best among there. And devotees and friends, then we come to book 9, chapter 24. Chapter 24 of the same book 9 of the Devi Puran. And there the Lord tells to us, again, my dear friends, after she went through everything and Shankachud had died and everything else, and she recognized that it is Lord Vishnu who had deceived her, and she gave him the curse to become the mountain. And then after, when she realized he did it for the world, that katha comes from Shiv Puran. So you see, integrating all the Puranas. That went now into the Ganga, and the cutting of that becomes the Saligram. And we don't want to go into details of that. But my dear friends, then what happened? Lord Vishnu told to her, he said, O honored one, he says, now quit your terrestrial body, meaning that word mean, I just can't pronounce them hard word, but terrestrial, when I went into the dictionary, it means worldly. So it says, quit now your worldly body and assume a divine body and marry me. Because you prayed for me, and also Shankachud prayed for you. Because remember, Shankachud is also a part manifestation of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu Bhagwan. And so you had already Shankachud, now you quit this body. This body which have been giving you so much of trouble, this worldly body. Quit this body now and take a divine body and marry me. Be like Lakshmi. This body of yours will be known by the saying of Gandharki, a very virtuous, pure stream in the holy land of Bharatdesh. It says, and your hair, and this you will get between about 28 and 40, because the whole book here deals with 28 to 102. So it says your hair will be turned into sacred trees, and they will be born of you, and you will be known by the name of Tulsi. And this is the line I want to hear. I want everybody to hear. All the tree worlds will perform their puja with the leaves and flowers of this Tulsi. Therefore, O fair-faced one, this Tulsi will be reckoned as the chief among all flowers and leaves, and you will be honored, in heaven, on earth, and in underground. And before me, O fair one, you will reign as the chief among all trees and flowers. In the region of Golok, you will be born on the bank of the river Viraja, in the Rasa circle. And there again, my dear friends, in Vrindavan, you will be honored again. Prem Subhadra Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki, Jai Krishna Bhagwan ki. But my dear friends, I showed you two places. Brahma said that no one, and it's important to note Brahma said that no one, no offering, no one's worship. So he didn't specify. He said no one, and no one means no one. No one's worship will be complete without thee as a leaf. And then come back here now, my dear friends. Lord Vishnu tells to us in no uncertain terms, Vishnu Bhagwan says that when you come as the Tulsi plant, all the three worlds will worship and will perform their pujas with the leaves and flowers of this Tulsi. This will happen in heaven, on earth, and in Patal Lok down below. Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki. So my dear friends, at this point, I have quoted all the verses of Devi Puran. I could continue going. But my dear friends, now the choice is yours. I, as Pandit, have made it clear where I get my research from. Those who would want to debar you from not using the Tulsi with who and who and who, I don't know. When they find the research, well, okay, fine. Just only help me so that I could find it back. But this is as far as my research take me. In this process, while she was in the body of the human woman, Tulsi, is there she met with Ganesh Bhagwan, who was also on earth, on the bank of Ganga. And the Katha in Ganesh Puran says that he asked her to get, she asked him to get married to her. And Ganesh said, no, I will never accept you. Go and marry the demon. Because Ganesh Bhagwan is absolute and he knows that he have to go and marry the demon. Because that is the way for her to live herself. So my dear friends, again the Katha went on some time to say, if a person will get a little bit of hardship, how they will know what is life and the enjoyment of life. Is when you get hardship and then you get some peace, then you know what really is the bliss of life. Prem se bole Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki. So my dear friends, I am very sorry that I had to condense everything because it's, this is from chapter 6 to way down to chapter 28, somewhere around there. All this information is set. I took it, my dear friends, and I bring it to you in 1 hour, less than an hour. Prem se bole Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki. So remember, to all our friends who are viewing us on Facebook, to all our friends who are viewing us on YouTube, to all our friends who are viewing us on www.dharamkiawaj, please do not disobey your guru and your pandit. All I'm telling to you, this is my research, and when I come to you, I love to see Tulsi in everything. These days, sometimes let us go to do puja, and the Tulsi leaf will be in the Panchamrit to start with. And then they go have one waiting for you there. Afterwards, they go put it in. But my dear friends, if my research take me to this, why must I disobey my research? If your pandit tells you what to do, they have a reason for doing it, you go ahead. But when I am wrong, this is what I know. Prem se bole Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki. But my dear friends, I tell all the devotees, go into the Devi Puran, Book 9, Chapter 6, Book 9, Chapter 17, Book 9, Chapter 24, and read it yourself. This is not Pandit Vishnu said. This is what the Devi Puran says. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan Ki. So devotees and friends, I could not believe that Raul and Leela, who is celebrating their wedding anniversary, would have such a strong katha this evening. But Raul and Leela, this is the katha came and this is how it came. I do hope that you all enjoyed it. We will. What's the time? We will now do Arti and then. And Arti? I would have liked to sing a song for them, but time does not permit. I'll sing one verse for them. I have it here ready. Devotees and friends, without parents, and more so a mother, nobody cannot celebrate anything at all. उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी, पर उसकी जरूरत क्या होगी। हे माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान के सूरज। So Merle and Leela, I do hope that you all enjoyed your day. We send Bhagwan blessings to you all. Although we are here in Trinidad and you in Canada, we send our blessings to you. To all our devotees here in Trinidad, viewing us wherever, Florida, New York, wherever you're viewing us from, always treat your mother as God. उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी, पर उसकी जरूरत क्या होगी। हे माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी, क्या होगी। उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी। कोई मूरत क्या होगी। हे माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी, क्या होगी। उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी। I cut it short because we are in curfew hours and I have to continue. But my dear friends, I have Merle and Barry here with me. I want one of the two of them to come quickly and tell Roll happy anniversary. So Roll, Merle, stay in the back. Barry will do it. Just look right there, Barry.
Sitaram, everybody.
Sitaram.
Roll and Leela, happy anniversary. And what Baba did here tonight it's special. Really, really special. Thanks so much.
Okay, so Roll and Leela, you see, I get at least one of the siblings to be here. I thought that Merle would have been the stronger one. I was expecting to see Merle coming up, but Barry came in front. Prem Sabale Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki. And so, my dear friends, this is what Dharam Ki Awaaj is about. Dharam Ki Awaaj is about holding families together, keeping families together. And we are all different parts of the world. And if Dharam Ki Awaaj could form that forum and hold people together, help unite and bring back families, this is what we about, transformation. Prem Sabale Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki Jai. Everybody stand, coconut. I want you to take your coconuts and go back to where you are sitting. Pandit Jai will lead us off in the Arti chant. Now remember what I say. I want everybody to take your coconut and go back where you are standing, or stay with your family where you are sitting. Yeah. But you'll be standing now. Yeah. Everybody take your coconut and get back. The two mean Shrota you will go up there first, right? All right, everybody pray now. Om Sri Krishna Krishna Sagyaya Pavidya Mamasya Vidyar Pradve Sri Divala Kalipati Saptami Vaivasman Vantar Kalipatam Charane Jambu Dvipe West Indies Kande Arivatariki Desh Antargati Trinidad Desh Namo Narayanaya Namo Namaham Om Sri Gotra Namayham. Everybody keep your name Namayham Sri Dehik Devik, whatever wish. Dehik Devik Bhautik Tapatra Nirvamartya Devi Grahari Shrimani Madhava. Om Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Pujan Sankalap Karmahang Rikshe Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Nariyal Palam Pratigrehitvam. Om Sri Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki Jai. So devotees and friends, the main shrotas will crack their coconut. They will come at the Bedi here and then they'll go and start the arti there. And then Munesh will guide you down, all those with your coconuts first, to come once we have a clear spacing, and then you will come and crack and continue with the arti. So we will not have a cluster. Ad Shakti Devi Durga Mata Ki Jai. Jai Ho.
साजं प्रवर्ति संयुक्तं दीपगृहान देवस्य त्रैलोक्यत्रिणीयापहम् अम्बा भवानी शारदे जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे
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 अम्बा भवानी शारदे मया अम्बा भवानी तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अखंड मंदराकारं व्याप्तं येन चरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः जय जय वाणी सरस्वती जय जय वाणी सरस्वती जय जय वाणी सरस्वती
जय जय वाणी सरस्वती
जय जीवानी सरस्वती
जय जीवाणी सरस्वती
जय जय वाणी सरस्वती
जय जीवाणी सरस्वती
वीणा पानी अनगुरवेणी
वीरावाणी अनगुरवेणी
ब्रह्म नारायणे ब्रह्म नारायण हरितस्तवानी
नमामि सरस्वती
नमामि सरस्वती नमामि सरस्वती यं ब्रह्मा वरुण रुद्रा मरुता सुनवन्त दिव्यै सर्ववेदै सङ्गमुपनिषदै गायन्ति यं सामगा ध्यानवस्था तथागतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यन्ताम सुरसुरगणा देवा तस्मै नमो नमः तस्मै नमो नमः तस्मै नमो नमः गोविंद जय गोविंद गोपाल जय गोपाल गोविंद जय गोविंद गोपाल जय गोपाल गोविंद जय गोविंद गोपाल जय गोविंद
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल जय गोपाल
गोविंद जय गोविंद गोपाल जय गोपाल belongs to the divine. For all that you have given to us. Without thee, O Mother, we are nothing into this universe. You are the mother, a father, a friend, and a protector at all times. We salute it and bow down to you. In Sahasranam, in the Koti Pranam, brilliance and millions of times again and again. Tvameva Mata, Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu, Chasaka Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya, Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam, Mama Deva Deva. Kayena vacha manasendra eva buddhya manava prakatita bhava karomi yagyat sakalam padasmay narayanaiti samarpayami om asaturma sadgamaya tamasurma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. नौ दुर्गा देवी माता की जय, क्रीम कालिका देवी माता की जय, लक्ष्मी माता की जय, सरस्वती देवी माता की, गंगा देवी माता की जय, पृथ्वी गौरी धरती माता की जय, भू माता की जय, गौ माता की जय, नवग्रह देवता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, राम राम गोविंदा गोविंदा, हर 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 पार्वती पते, हर हर महादेव, काशी विश्वनाथ की जय, सनातन धर्म की जय, सकल पंच की जय जय सीताराम.
So devotees and friends, Arti Prasad will come to you, and please